Yo, yo, yo. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Neighborhood Politics. I am Mrs. Neighborhood Politics.
And I'm Mr. Neighborhood Politics.
And we come back to you with another episode.
For sure. Another one.
Another episode.
How you feeling today?
Tired.
She's tired, man.
I tried to cancel on y'all.
She definitely tried to cancel today, but I made her push through.
I really was gonna cancel.
It's good, it'd be like that.
No, I wasn't feeling that.
It's cool. It's funny because last episode you gave me my props for, making sure that we are consistent.
Yeah.
And that we've been pushing them out, and then come this episode, the very next one, she was really ready to stay asleep. She got mad at I had to actually get up and tell her, like, quit asking me. We going.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, but I also was like, bruh, literally. That's all I can say. I was tired dealing with those kids and stuff like that. Long week and
yeah. But I wanted to push through with this episode because, I wanted to tell you Happy Mother's Day.
You got something up your sleeve.
No, I don't got just just Happy Mother's Day. This is dedicated to you. This episode. I think we've came a long way. When we very first started, the very first episode when we was again in the kitchen, we talked about was about me. And we gave our supporters a backstory on who I was and what Neighborhood Politics was about, which we can maybe do again here soon one day because that was probably at this point in time some years ago, but you've been an amazing support system. You've been rocking it out. You've been doing a great job. So, this one, is going to be dedicated to you on Mother's Day. We're going to make sure that, happens. So happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you. This is my first Mother's Day as a mom.
Yeah, your first Mother's Day, I call it a gift, I guess, because I think it's dope because it's going to be something that you can always look back on, and this episode and Yara, she'll be able to look back on it, and I just I think it'll be cool. We're gonna do actually at this point, we can it's gonna be a 2-for-1 special.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. Now I feel good. Sorry, I'm playing.
Yeah. So you see why now we had to push through.
Yeah, because I was like, but then I start thinking like, look at my socks, and I'm bro, just like me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, why is he so adamant about? I'm like, no, we can like cancel today.
But you gonna always keep on going, keep on asking questions, gonna keep on digging.
I wasn't even looking for nothing, honestly.
I feel like you was.
What was I looking for?
I don't know.
Pertaining to the episode.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay.
But again, Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being a wonderful mom, a wonderful wife. And just continue doing that. All right. So, let's get straight to it. Miss Politicz, this is about you today.
Whoa, I was not ready for this.
So, brief introduction. Let us know who you are. Let the people really know who you are, where you come from. Just go ahead and elaborate.
Okay, so I was not ready for this. That's one. But that's cool. That's good. I mean, it's going to be organic. I mean, I don't prepare anyway, but I didn't know this would be about me. So, whatever. Of course, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. I am a mom, a wife, a child of God. That's first. I'm a child of God. I love God. And I love my relationship with him. And I'm growing in my relationship with him. So that is top priority for me because if it was not for him, I would not be here. So I can say that. Like, just in general. Like, I would not be where I'm at mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially. So that's first. So I'm a child of God. I'm a mom. I'm a mother. I'm a mentor. I'm a cheerleading coach. I think that's it.
You giving one of them Doris answers like you just a random guest. Man, you better turn up and tell the people who you are.
That's what I feel. I'm very humble right now. So this is
you got some finances I don't know about?
No. Why
you said something about finances
I
in there.
said
you
nothing.
did. When we play it back, you gonna hear you said something about finances.
No, I didn't. I said like just in general. Like I would not be where I'm at mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially.
You say you wouldn't be where you are financially. Well, okay,
yes,
all right.
I'm just saying in life.
It's cool. We gonna dig a little bit later.
Whoa,
for sure. Cincinnati, man, that's what's up. I feel like with me being from Columbus, We've had guests from Alabama. Janice Boston, she was from, I think, close to West Virginia.
Youngstown?
Somewhere in that area. I want to say close to Virginia, West Virginia. So we've had a range of guests, you know, from different areas. I'm from, I think I may have said, I'm from Columbus. So, you know, we got a lot of supporters from, you know, the Columbus region, the Cincinnati region. So I think it's cool for us to kind of sit here with you so you can kind of elaborate. So what was it like for you growing up in Cincinnati?
Okay, this is crazy. I'm sorry. I was not expecting to be talking about me at all. Growing up in Cincinnati, so I mean, I don't really know. Like when you ask that, I guess for me, I would just say growing up in Cincinnati, it was kind of cool. I guess. I mean, I grew up single parent home. Me and you know my mom, and I got a big brother, a big sister. It was a single parent home. My mom was a single parent from all of our fathers, or whatever. We had 3 different fathers, but all of our fathers wasn't in our life. So growing up in a single parent home, and just pretty much just trying to find my way. Growing up, learning who I am, learning what I like, learning what I don't like, desiring. And it's crazy because when I was younger, I always felt like or wanted to be big time. I don't know what that meant, why, but I always felt like that as a kid. Like I used to watch a Disney Channel, and I used to be like, I'm gonna be on there. I don't know. I used to want to be an actress, singer. Can't sing a lick, but yeah. So growing up, it wasn't. I'll say this now because I'm super grateful for where I'm at. It was a very humbling experience. You know what? It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. So I want to say that because I've learned throughout, just like having wisdom. I never want to talk down on where I came from or, you know, what that's like because it made me who I am. So, I mean, I really don't know much to say about how I was like growing up.
Where you from? Like, come on, like, give the people, you got all this energy. Where you from?
I'm telling you, I'm so humble. I really genuinely didn't even.
But I'm saying, where you from?
I'm from Bond Hill.
Say it, you from where?
Bruh, he want me to act so ghetto, but I'm very like shocked right now. So y'all gonna see me act very mellow because when I say not expecting this at all, I keep saying that, I'm dead serious. So yeah, this is.
So you from where?
Bruh.
Bond Hill?
Yes,
okay.
bruh.
So I want to give shout outs to Bond Hill. You know, again, I got, you know, I guess I can say some people from Bond Hill. You know, I guess I would say I'm good in Bond Hill.
He wants to be from Cincinnati in the hood so bad.
I think I'm good in Bond Hill.
Yes, I grew up in Bond Hill, so. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gotta put myself out there. I used to be hood hopping.
Did you? You was one of them?
When I was a kid, yes. Because I went to a school downtown, so. I ain't gonna lie, kids, if you hood hop.
You know it's crazy, man. You know that you are from Cincinnati because my first, and I've told you this before, my first run in with the Natty was terrible.
Yeah.
You know, man, listen, I was at Wright State.
But see, it's something about Columbus. Y'all like Cincinnati people. Y'all got a love-hate thing. So maybe you might not have liked the dudes, but you sure like the girls. Cause talk about it.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah, see, he don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe it's what's the yin and the yang?
Nah.
So, you know, I don't know, but you know, it's cool.
Caught you off guard. But change the subject real quick.
Yeah, I had a few run-ins with Cincinnati dudes, man, and it was just like, you know, in Columbus, it was. I think it was a little movement to where you seen like some dancing going on. But y'all took it to another level. Like y'all dance in Cincinnati, like, bruh. You know, and that was odd for me. So, you know, when I first got down there, you know, it was dudes down there, they was dancing. and y'all's dancing is different. You know, where we would just dance.
What you break it out?
You know, I don't know. I can't show the camera where we would just, dance, like y'all on the floor dancing, like y'all.
Hold on, wait.
Cincinnati, yeah, y'all on the floor dancing.
Like cooking?
Yeah.
Okay, because don't try to make it like we break dancing.
I mean, come on. Y'all on the floor dancing. Dudes with bandanas on and
he's talking about like cooking, like it's like a little dance that his close friend, his brother,
he my
Dorian.
Boy.
This is for you. That's what he's talking about.
I mean, if you from Cincinnati, you know. So I mean, y'all be, so it was just odd, and then we just kept having, butting heads. So it's like, man, I'm cool on Cincinnati dudes, but Full circle, you know, I got some good dudes from Cincinnati, some stand
Yeah.
up great friends, you know, some great friends. So it's funny to have my first interactions with people from Cincinnati, and I was like, I hate it. And then full circle, I end up going to Kentucky State, and some of my closest boys, you know, a few of them is from the Natty, you know. So
it's that they from Cincinnati, and then not to mention, like literally, you end up with your wife being from Cincinnati.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, for sure. So you know, I think that's pretty dope.
I ain't never have no run in with Columbus. I think when I went to college, that's when I got most of the experience of just mass different people or whatever. I ain't have no thought or concept on Columbus, honestly.
Nah, okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. I'm gonna low key read directly from, you know, my questions I got for you, because you know I really want the people to kind of dig in and know who you are, because you are a special person, you know, and I think it's fair
When you
enough
say
for the people.
special, don't.
Look, see you. Look, get serious.
Oh, okay, this is me.
So in your journey, we all know as a young lady, the teenage years can be treacherous. You know, as a teenager, you deal with teenagers, you work with teenagers right now, young teenagers. At what age did you begin to find yourself? What was your motivation behind it, and was it anybody in your corner that helped inspire you?
Oh yeah, so that's like a 3-part question. So the first part was what?
At what age did you begin to find yourself?
I think when I transitioned from middle school to high school, so like probably like when I my 8th grade going into my 9th grade year, that's when it changed for me. Just what like how I want the beginning of me start to care about what I wanted to do in life, like, or just kind of, to change, because when I was in middle school, I was bad. You know what I'm saying? I was getting in trouble, getting expelled. You know, I got expelled from probably like I think like 3 schools. Fights, just a lot. Like I had a lot going on in middle school. But I didn't really care about my grades and stuff like that. I really was just, being a kid, going to school or whatever. And then I remember Miss Mary, I love Miss Mary, being her still in contact to this day. But she literally, I remember being in 8th grade, and I knew I was going to high school the next year. And I remember talking to her, telling her like, I don't care about my grades. So, I mean, I said nobody else cares, so why should I, like, about my grades or whatever? And because we were talking about me transitioning into high school. So for me, it was just kind of like, I don't care, nobody else cares, so why should I? And I'll never forget her saying, it's not about what other people think or feel. It's about how you got the power and the ability to change your circumstances. Like, she was like, your mom, your dad, and the people that's over you, they're where they gonna be. But you can change that. You don't have to be that way. And then it was like from that point forward, it was like it really soaked into my brain. I'm like, wow, she right. Like, just because everybody else don't care, that don't mean I shouldn't care. This is my future. I could do something with this. Like, I can care enough to do something with it myself. So then it was like when I went to high school, before I went to high school, I had made the decision like, I'm gonna change. I ain't gonna be hanging around all these different girls. I ain't gonna be getting into all this drama. I'm gonna try to get good grades. And then I went to Woodward, and then I met Miss Campbell, who now is Miss Irvin. But she was somebody that helped motivate me and encourage me and inspire me to, go to college, to, get a job, to, just to better myself. She believed in me. She was a teacher from my freshman year who we had so many run-ins in the beginning. Like, it was like a love-hate relationship at first. But she was a teacher that poured into me. Miss Akajobi was another teacher that poured into me. But it's crazy how God works, because even when I was in middle school and I was being bad, and I say being bad because I literally was causing havoc, like, and I knew it, like, but I didn't know that meant that I had power, and I didn't know that meant that I was a leader. And teachers would tell me, but I didn't know that. But teachers would pull me to the side and be like, "You so smart. You're a leader. You're this. You're that." And those moments poured into me as a young adult. Like, just even at that age. And now I see it in schools. Like, you can talk to somebody and they'll feel everything you're saying, and they leave away from you and they forget. But then it's like they gonna always remember you was somebody that poured into them. Because I'll never forget most of the teachers that poured into me.
That planted seeds.
And I'll never forget, it was this man named Mr. Banks. And I don't know why we was in like And I was like fourth, fifth grade. Fifth grade. Oh wow. We thought this man looked so good as yes.
Talk about it. Mr. Banks. Is this, you say Mr. Banks?
Yeah, he passed away.
Oh, I was about to get on it with Mr. Banks. But rest in peace to Mr. Banks, man.
It was at VLT. His name was Mr. Banks, and he was our math teacher. And I'll never forget, I would get in trouble for what everybody else did.
Yeah.
So if everybody else get the acting bad, he'd be like, come here. I'm sending you out. And I used to get tired of it. Why? He's like, because I want to teach you a lesson. He said, you the ringleader. He said, and as long as you in here, they going to keep doing stuff to he said, so if I get you, if I make an example out of you, he told me what he was doing. I was in fifth grade. If I make an example out of you, they all going to fall in line. So it got to a point where, because I was a leader, I used to be like, y'all need to stop doing that. Y'all need to chill out. And I was getting the class in order because I knew if I didn't.
Hear that Bond Hill coming out of you. Go ahead.
I knew if I didn't, I was getting sent out. I knew I was getting sent out. I knew all of that.
I'm sorry, real quick. I love that approach though. You know, with me being a coach, a teacher, mentor, a role model, I don't think I've ever approached a situation like that. I don't think I've ever approached my classroom like that as far as setting the standard. Because we all come in situations to where it is always, you know, it's funny, in our class last year in our room, by the end of the year, we did like a little hierarchy thing, you know, on our wall. You know, similar to what you're talking about right now. So in your situation, you would have been top dog, and then people, you don't fall in line. You know, I think it's dope, that approach that he took, to where he was like, okay, let's say you are having a okay day to where it ain't necessarily you. I'm still going to
make an example
out of you because you're a leader. So I expect for you to also, when they are acting out of line, although you might not be today, I still expect for you to get them in line.
Can you imagine though, at that young age, that happening to you and how unfair that feels?
You feel like for sure.
Oh my God, I used to be so
like
distraught.
Like you getting picked on.
I used to be so mad. Like, are you serious? So I'm getting in trouble for what she's doing?
Because you the class leader, and if you ain't setting the standard, if you ain't setting the tone, if you ain't running the guidelines on how we supposed to run this ship every single day, then it's gonna fall back on you.
But not even knowing that as a young lady that you hold that much power or that much weight. Oh my God, I used to be so furious.
I love that. So actually, Mr. Banks, I love that. I appreciate that, man. So
he's passed away.
I know. I'm just giving him his flowers though.
Yeah, Mr. Banks used to be nice looking.
Hey,
man.
all right now.
I ain't gonna lie, we used to be like, Mr. Banks look good. I don't know why.
Yeah, no.
In fifth grade, we was doing that.
Young ladies, little girls,
he was nice. He was nice looking. And everybody that know Mr. Banks know what I'm talking about.
Okay, now you geeking over Mr. Banks. All right, man.
Even here, R.I.P. Mr. Banks.
So you kind of alluded to something that I kind of want to touch on, and we'll bounce back and forth. But as a woman of Christ, when did your spiritual journey take off? When did you make the conscious decision to dedicate your life to always being led by God first?
Okay, so it's the weirdest thing. I heard about God when I was a kid, and I remember with the way, I heard about it from other little kids. Like, it's this man named God, and he be everywhere you at. Like, he here right now. And I remember just being like, oh my God, and really, when I first heard it, believing it, but just believing that it was a man named God or it was a man named Jesus, and he watching us everywhere we go. So I was like in the shower, like he can see me right now, like as a kid, seriously, because I heard from other kids this. So I start with that because that was.
Dang, hold on, I'm sorry. So when I was up at 3 a.m. watching Uncut, God was watching?
Yes. That is, you are nasty.
You said it,
God
man.
can see you.
Go ahead, man.
That's what I was told, and even now that I'm older, it's the truth.
Okay.
But as a kid, you hear that, and it's like all the kids talking about it. I don't know. It's like when I first ever heard it, I just believed it. And I remember saying to maybe my mom, I don't remember who it was, but I'm like, y'all know it's a man named God. He could see you. I started to relay the message, like, he could see you everywhere you go, whatever. So I just remember that deposit. And then I remember used to be in Bond Hill, it used to be like this yellow school bus on Sundays, and it was like a predominantly white church, but they used to come around on yellow school bus, and they would pick up kids in the neighborhood. And I remember this girl telling me, like, you should come to church. They got a bus, they pick you up, they drop you off. I'm like, for real? She's like, yeah, you get on there, they have candy, they sing church songs, whatever. So I don't remember what age that was. I had to be like 8, 9, like 7, 8, 9, you know, from that range or whatever. Cause I was in Bond Hill, I was walking around by myself. So I know I wasn't 5 and 6, you know, so I had to be like 8, 9, 10, you know, that range or whatever. And I remember we used to go to the church and I got saved then, but I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I went to church and I was learning about God, about Jesus, and it was fun. So I liked it, got saved. And then when I went to college, so even then growing up, so it's like I always knew of God and I always believed in prayer, and I would go to church with my aunts and them, New Jerusalem Baptist Church in Cincinnati. I would go there and yeah, I remember where my relationship with God really took off was when I went to college. Everything happened for me when I went to college.
Okay.
And when my brother went to jail for murder. So when he went to jail for murder,
hold on, but we'll stop there, you know, because I like that. So you at this point in time, you kind of grow in a relationship with God, where you have God has been deposited in you, is what you said.
Yeah.
So it's the seed has been planted. You know, you've had some experiences. You've been saved. You still had an eye for Mr. Banks, you know, but you know that's neither here or there. Let's rewind back to the going to Woolworth though, because you mentioned Miss Irvin, and you know from since meeting you, I always heard of Miss Campbell, Miss
Big Booty Campbell. It's like, no, I'm playing.
in your transition though, from because we know it was rough because you had kind of alluded to the fact that, you know, Miss Irvin was on you. What was that like though? That transition from middle school to high school to where you went from being this person that could disrupt a whole classroom that was getting expelled to now you were in high school. You got Miss Akajobi looking out for you. You got Miss Irvin that's holding you accountable, and you actually want to change yourself, but you still are accustomed to your environment.
Well, it was super hard because, well, it was okay. So the transition was like, I went from middle school hanging around all these different chicks. Not all these different chicks, I don't want to say it like that, but these were my middle school friends, and it was always about fighting and jumping, and even if like you don't get the ones in, it was about jumping. Like we played basketball, we was getting to fights, you know, just always just that type of drama, boyfriends, middle school. So it went from that to me being like, I'm genuinely not on that. Like, so when I get to high school, I'm not on that. So fast forward to when I got to high school, when people would try me or situations would happen, I would feel like people was playing with me. So it was like wanting to revert. And not to say that I was just so bad in middle school, which I said I was, but I'm saying like, I just was like, felt like, I'm going to show you. But at the same time, it was like, I knew that I wanted to change. So having somebody like Miss Campbell and Miss Akajobi look after me, and it was like, it was a blessing for real. You know, it was hard trying to change. Because in middle school, you got to still show somebody that you're not scary. Like, not in middle school, high school. Like, I'm not no punk.
Right.
So it was hard because as a teenager, you know you want to do good in life. You know you want to navigate change, but then it's like, you also like still sucked into your environment, the peer pressure, the you know, all the things that come with being a high school student. You know what I'm saying? Boys and, you know, drama and, you know, all these different things. So it wasn't easy, but it became easier probably like my junior year.
So you didn't know Miss Irvin at the time, Miss Campbell. I know we probably confusing some people. Miss Campbell.
Just keep saying Miss Campbell.
So you didn't know Miss Campbell going into Woodward.
No.
So,
I met her there. She was my computer teacher my freshman year.
So
how did our relationship?
What would you say was the reason, or how did it come across that y'all have built such a tight bond?
Well, I remember her taking my phone. Oh my God, I was so mad at her. I mean, like, she didn't take my phone for the whole day. She took my phone for the whole day, and then the next day took it all the way up and all the way to the end of the school day. Bruh. When I tell you, I was so mad, like, I could not stand her off of that. And I remember her giving my phone back, and she just being like, I don't care, you need to stay off your phone, because she took my phone because I was on it in class or whatever. So she took my phone, she took it for a whole day, and pretty much 2 days, if you ask me. And that's kind of was the beginning, because I was very upset with her. But I don't remember like the first exchange, but I do remember me coming to school and having my days where I was like mad, you know what I'm saying, or not really on it. And I remember one day being able just to vent to her, and then it was like from that vent, it became it became a thing. Like I was able to vent to her a little bit more often. So I would go to her room during lunchtime and have lunch with her, or if I was, it just came off of that. Like when she took my phone, we might have had a conversation about how I shouldn't have been on my phone, and I don't know how that transpired, but I do know she opened that door for us to be able to have conversations because she seen that I was like upset a lot, so we was talking. And at first because I'm so different than what I was then, for sure. Of course, I'm grown, but I'm saying even just in general, like I wasn't telling my business. So it was nothing that you gonna hear from me. So it was like it took her probably some time to get some stuff up out of me.
Right.
But then once that happened, it was from that point forward, she just always been supportive of me and was there, like, and listening.
What's that like, having somebody that's, always there, growing up in a time to where you don't even know yourself? Because as a teenager, again, like you say, you battling the comments of the world, worldly things, and then you battling who you are trying to become as a person itself. So what's that like, having somebody like Miss Campbell?
So I'm gonna speak from the high school perspective, like the high school y'all. It was annoying at sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because why are you in my business? Like, it's a certain level, But then it's like, at the same time, you kind of like the only little bit of encouragement and motivation I'm getting. So it was like bittersweet. So it was like when I liked it, I loved it. But when I didn't like it, I hated it. You know what I'm saying? So like and as a high school student, because you want somebody to be there for you, but then you don't want somebody to be there so much for you that they in your business and they feel like they invade in your space. And not that I feel like she was invading my space, but it was times where I felt like you invaded, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you.
I get what you're saying. Or is it that now I'm holding you accountable?
It probably was definitely now that I'm holding you accountable. I mean,
because even as adults, it's hard. We talked about that in the previous episode. Accountability is a challenging thing to be held to, or to even hold yourself to. So as a teenager, if you never had someone holding you accountable, never before in your life, well, you said, the Mr. Banks and the other teachers that have pulled you to the side, and whoever else that may have been in your life. But when you got someone who just came in your life at 14, 15, 16, and they've inserted themselves
in your life,
and now they're the ones holding you accountable, you like, hold on.
Okay. And to go into that, I'm going to cut you off because I'm thinking, when you say that, like when you 14, 15, you a teen. And prior to that, I was making my own decisions. I was washing my own clothes. I was learning to do a lot of stuff by myself before I got to high school. So she always joke and say, girl, you was grown when I met you. And I used to be like, I didn't like that, but I used to be like, I'm this way because I have to be. It's not because I think I'm grown. But she would tell me like, no, I'm not saying that, you think you grown. It's just that you were very mature. Like, and she said what drew her to me was the fact that when she would give me advice, I would listen. So she said it probably took you the first couple times to see like, okay, she's telling me the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's telling me the right thing, and you seeing that what I'm saying is true. She's like, but when you start, she's like, when I start telling you stuff, you started to listen to me. And she said, so that showed me that you actually wanted to get better. That's
funny, because that's what I was going to say. Like, you sit here and you say like she was on you, but back in my mind, I'm like, well, you still must have ended up going to her during the lunchroom to talk. So it's like, even though it's a gift and a curse. So it's like you say, I'm frustrated. Sometimes I don't want to hear, but the spirit in you that really want to do better is drawing you to her, because it's like you ain't in control. You know what I'm saying? It's something else that's out here for you. And I know the person that's right here that's going to help provide you the necessary tools for you to accomplish to be the person that I need you to be. When I said I mean, God.
For sure. Like, I'm speaking from the high school y'all.
Right, for sure.
But the grown y'all right now, what? If you are a student and you watching this, because I know we got a variety of audience, just be grateful for that person that's depositing those seasons, taking that time to be pour into you, because not everybody is doing it and not everybody cares. And you build lifelong, relationships like that. Like, she's still in my life, and I met her my freshman year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 15 years, I'm just saying it's some time now. We got some time in, and we really like family, like for real. But you know, at that time in high school, I knew she cared and I knew she, you know, was definitely pouring into me. But at the same time, it was times where I was like, you doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, I came in with this mess. You got to think, having to do a lot of stuff that I had to do on my own, I also had that perspective and that mindset, like, how you gonna tell me?
Yeah, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, like, you know, or you don't really understand like you
Right.
keep saying you do. You ain't living like I'm living. So you could tell me to do this way, but I don't got nobody to come pick me up. Like, you know, it was just like the little stuff. So some stuff we would definitely bump heads, but man, now that I'm older, I'm just so grateful that she didn't give up on me, or that I'm even getting emotional that she didn't give up on me, or be like, you know what, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool on you. Like, I'm happy she didn't do that, because it's been times.
Kids can take you there to, like you say, the ones that you really are digging, giving them all you can. It's times to where it be like, you know what, I'm just gonna fall back, you know, because you ain't really receiving, and then you have to humble yourself to know, like, I'm dealing with a teenager, you know, I'm dealing with somebody that really need this, you know, I'm dealing with a mentee, you know, someone that, you know, in a sense is still growing theyself, you know, so it's like, I that's what's up.
I mean, I remember one time we was beefing so bad. We was beefing around when I graduated. Like, she didn't come to my graduation, but also to her granddaughter graduated the same day, in her defense or whatever. And we didn't talk. And I remember Mr. King, we had to write in a yearbook, like, who we was thankful for, like, whatever. And I didn't want to write because I was mad at her, you know, just being a high school student. He was like, you better say, you know, and I had to give her thanks or whatever. And it was so crazy. I'm talking about we was real life not cool, right? Listen, real life not cool. Bruh, she literally threw me a going away, like a college graduation party.
Right.
Like, we hadn't talked. When she did call me, she was like, she already had everything. We gonna do this at the bowling alley. We da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it was like, she invited teachers. I had my friends was at the bowling alley. It was like my graduation going away party. And she took me to go get my stuff for college, like at Walmart and everything. Like, she really like came through.
That's crazy.
Bro, when I said we was beefing for real though, I was cool on her.
Was you beefing with her, or was she beefing with you?
I think we both was beefing with each other. It was so, like, not really beefing, of course, but we wasn't talking. I don't remember what the situation was, but we both felt the way.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, and at this point in time now, again, I didn't invested in you. I didn't spend 4 years with you, because, you know, I got Miss Campbell's back. So I didn't spend 4 years with you, and me knowing you and me only imagining the person you was then.
Wow.
You know, you can be stubborn at times. So, you know, I know, again.
Yeah, it was bad back then though.
Speaking, of course, speaking on what we, the growth aspect of it, you know, I'm glad it's a blessing that can't you see let me say this, aren't you able to see the blessing in the fact of that Mr. King still pushed you to go outside of to do what you wanted to do and still give you credit to Miss Campbell, because it's like, nah, that's the right thing to do. Even though you might be mad and in your feelings right now, in all actuality, pick that pride to the side, you know what I'm saying, and grow as a young lady right now, because you're making the transition now into adulthood. It was the first transition was from middle school to, you know, being an adolescent. Now you're going to adulthood. So put that pride to the side and give this woman the credit that she really deserves. And then 48 hours later, let's just say, here she is, you know, throwing you a whole surprise party for your graduation.
Yeah, I'm grateful that he told me to do that, because I definitely was prideful. I definitely was upset with her. You know, like I said, you know, it wasn't a big thing, because I don't even remember to this day, you know, what it was over. But I know we was like, she was like, I'm done with you, and I'm done with you, you know.
For sure.
And yeah, and then like, when I don't know how we end up. I think one day she called me and was like, do you have a graduation party plan or something? And then I was like, no. She's like, all right, well, we gonna do it. And she came through, and yeah, and that's kind of how we, you know.
That's what's
and
up.
I think when she saw me, she hugged me. I think I was trying to be beefing out with her when I see her.
Yeah.
And I think she just hugged me.
Yeah, come here.
And then I was like, no, I'm cool on you.
Yeah. Get this love that you really seeking for, and let's go on about our day. All right.
Yeah.
Put your big girl drawers on. In today's society, we are living in a time in which there's so many different distractions, idols, that people can be led by, influences. What are some of your toughest battles in your spiritual walk, and what keeps you balanced and grounded?
It's deep. So, what's some of the battles in my spiritual walk from
Yeah,
the distractions and all these different things?
Yeah, so growing up in a society to where so many different distractions, idols, things that people can be led by, and your spiritual walk, what are some of your toughest battles, and what keeps you balanced and grounded?
Some consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Is like one of my toughest. So it's like, okay, I don't necessarily want to say consistency, but I got to a little bit because it's like I love God, so that's gonna be who I go to, and I really like my identity is literally in God. I don't know no other way to explain it. Like I don't feel right. It's not a day that I don't wake up and not think about God. It's not a day that I don't wake up and just he just in me, right? But my struggles come in with, just having like staying rooted and grounded in truth, which is God, like fully. You know, I'm learning who I am in Christ, so that's the battle. Like I'm learning my power, I'm learning the position I hold, I'm learning so much about myself in Christ that is the battle right there because I'm he's took me from here and he's bringing me here, and I'm struggling with letting go of the old me and embracing the new me. So the new me is this woman of God that's super powerful, loving, caring, that is, all these beautiful things, that has a life of that's a life that is blessed. And I'm not talking about materialistic, I'm talking about just a blessed life spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And I'm still holding on to all the past hurt, the past. So that's another spiritual battle. Just letting go of the old self and really clinging on to the new identity that God has for me. So that consistency with that can be hard. And I'm talking about consistency in my ways. Because I struggle with letting go of the old me. Sometimes I can revert and not fully, because I ain't. It's certain stuff I'm not gonna, but I'm not gonna do. But it's like at the same time, that's why I say the consistency is kind of hard, because it's like consistency even in my ways can is a battle. Really, just I think it'll get better for me once I fully, like I know who I am in a sense, and I'm grateful and I'm blessed. But when I really embrace it on some like different level type stuff, I think that'll come even better. So consistency in my way. So I think I answered your question.
I mean, you did. I asked what helps keep you balanced, but
Okay. You.
Really?
Yeah, no. I mean, like, you like having that support system, and just like, and I say you because you gonna always point me back to God. When I'm tripping, you always remind me of who I say I want to be. Like you like the God fearing woman that you say you want to be. This ain't, you always when you get mad at me, you say that to me. You literally say that to me, like the woman that you say you want to be, the God fearing woman that you want to be in Christ, who you say you want to be. So it's like stuff like that motivates me and keep me grounded, because it's like you reminding me of who I say I want to be and who I can be. Yeah, like you, but outside of like as a person, I think just God, literally just wanting to please God keeps me grounded.
And that's what's up, and I think consistency, that's a answer across the board for a lot of things in life in general. I can say it's a lot of things that I'm inconsistent in. How much grace do you give yourself? Because in your conversation that you just, or a conversation back and forth that you just said, you talked a lot about the growth, and the inconsistencies of how or where you can be, and then where you may revert back to at times. How much grace do you give yourself in these moments? Because like, we have discussions. You still a young lady, and you still are on your walk with, God, and becoming the person that you are, so I think it's important for you to know, or, I'll let you answer the question first.
If I'm being honest, I don't give myself that much grace, because I struggle with not wanting to fall short. So if I don't do something right, or if I'm like feel like I should have done something, I could be hard on myself. So I don't nurture or talk or love on myself or talk to my. Well, now I do. I'm learning that. I learned that since I've been pregnant to give myself grace. Because I've been drilling in myself. You got to keep going. You got to keep doing. 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 So, yeah, I don't really give myself a lot of grace, but I'm learning too. And I'm learning that, like I said, through my pregnancy. And like I said, you remind me, like, when you gonna give yourself some grace? When you gonna give yourself some grace? But it's just a struggle because I don't want to fall short. I don't want to revert back. So it'd be a lot of fear and different things of that nature. But yeah, it's like I want to give myself grace. I'm learning to now, and I'm grateful for it now that I'm even learning what it is, because I didn't even know what grace was for a while, you know. But yeah, now I'm giving myself grace a little bit more.
I mean, that's what's up, you know. And I think it's important for you to know. And I've mentioned this to you before, like, God gonna meet you where you at.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell you this, like, you ain't just no person to where you out here tripping, you out here fooling, you out here acting crazy, and then come nighttime you praying to God and saying, hey God, I apologize for cussing 20 people out today, running up on such and such, beating up such and such, doing that. You ain't that person.
Yeah.
You know, you that person to where you waking up at 4 a.m. and you trying to get in your word. You praying before you leave the house. You praying when you at school. You are mimicking the behaviors that you are supposed to be. You're walking in the light, I should say, that you are destined to walk in. You know, so like I say, God gonna meet you where you at. You know, so whether that be 10%, 20, whether you can give 10, 20, 30% today, he know what you are doing and what you may lack. He knows, okay, today she might not have it in this area, so let me pick her up right here. So, you know, don't ever feel as if you falling behind or you reverting back, because the person that you are today is tenfold the person that you was when you was just starting your walk, and the person that you are going to be 10 years from now is going to be 10 times more spiritually aligned than you are now. You know, so I would never want you to get overwhelmed with trying to be just this perfect centered person, because as I said to you before, you still young and you learning, you know what I'm saying? And as long as you continue to have the desire to learn, God gonna do the rest. But don't overwhelm yourself with trying to be the perfect person that you have the desire to be now. You know, let that person come. You know, it's the slow grind. If you skip every single step and say you want to be this person now, what's going to happen when you 40 and the lessons that you were supposed to learn when you was 30, you didn't learn because you already prayed and asked God to be that person in.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a learning experience, you know. It's a learning experience. Just growing up and just wanting better and not even like better and then even more, just better. And I guess you could say more, just more for your life. And fear being something that you struggle with, is like, it's hard not to be hard on yourself, because it's like, no, you cannot go back, you cannot, no. So it's like that sometimes have been my driving point,
right?
You know. So and it's funny because I talked about this with some people that I'm doing like this women's group with, and I don't want to say people, I would say sisters in Christ, and we were talking about the things that used to work for you don't work no more, because it's like it served you in that season, but now God is like, okay, that thing that serves you in that season, I want to take that from you and I want to show you a new way, and I want to you know, nurture you in a different way, you know. So it's weird, it's crazy, because it's like the things that served me before don't serve me now. So all the defense mechanisms that I had, the drive, the things that motivated me is not that no more. And I remember one time really being sad, because I'm like, something is wrong with me. And I'm like, the stuff, I was like, I used to be so motivated, I used to be so encouraged, I used to be so this and so that. And I had to literally think about it, like, that's because you're not living in that situation no more. You know what I'm saying? So the things that used to drive you ain't supposed to drive you in this new season of who you are and what you becoming. You know, and that was a tough pill for me to swallow, because you get accustomed to being a certain way. And then it's like, God, when you know, build a relationship with the Lord, he shakes it all up. that might have worked for you then, but now you somebody different, you somebody new, and that's not gonna work now. So we got to find a way, and I don't want that to be your driving. I don't want to be that what drives you. The fear of not having, the fear of, you know what I'm saying. That don't come from me,
right?
You know. So yeah, I'm learning really a lot, and I really appreciate everything that you just said, because it's just super vulnerable for me. This is super. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to tell you. I wanted the real you. I didn't want you to be prepared because you're a special person. So the world deserves to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like the world deserves to see the unprepared Yaya come on here and tell who you are. You know, because you touch a lot of people. You know, you get a lot of messages after we do these episodes, and they tell you how your words encourage the young ladies and what that meant to them. So yeah, you know, I had to hit you with the surprise. Can't let you be prepared.
No, thank you.
For sure. And you kind of alluded to this in your last comment, I guess, or answer, I guess I should say. But oftentimes in moments in our walk of growth as adults, we tend to face battles due to issues as kids or adolescents that were never addressed. For you, has this ever been a problem? And if so, how have you learned to deal with it?
Yes, it definitely has been a problem. And I'm learning to deal with it by just one, I'm seeking God more than ever, because I'm like, what is this? Like, now that I know I can do that, like now I know I can go to God and He'll reveal it to me. And then if He reveal it to me, then He intends to heal it. Oh, I'm like addicted to wanting to know, like, God, what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying about me? Like that's how, you know what I'm saying? But yes, of course, the inner child, oh, and now and all the things, oh yeah, it's a lot. I would say that what I'm doing now to better or work on it, or, you know, is I am learning more about my inner child. Like what happened? What was I afraid of? What happened that I didn't like? What makes me feel uncomfortable? And learning to try to talk to myself. Like, okay, for instance, I took the test, right? The English language arts test for teacher's license, whatever, and I failed. I didn't even study before I even took it. But I did something that I've never done before. After I failed, I went out to the cars before I even text you or anything. And I cried, of course, because my feelings was hurt. But I was like, why are you crying? And I was like, I'm crying because I don't like this feeling of failing. I don't like that feeling. Even though I know I didn't study, even though I know I wasn't prepared, I just don't like that feeling. That feels horrible. Like, and I didn't want to take this test. I just start talking to myself. But in the midst of me doing that, I literally started to pour into my inner child. I start talking to the kid in me, like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna take this test again. It's okay. Like, I just was like consoling myself and talking to my inner child and like literally doing that. And it blessed me. It gave me peace. I prayed too. Like, I prayed first, and then, you know, I cried, and then I poured into my inner child. And I've always heard people say, do this. And I was like, no, that's corny. I'm not about to sit there and talk to myself, one. And I'm not about to sit there.
I talk to myself all the time.
I know.
I be driving, talking to myself.
I know.
Yeah.
But I would say that though. Like, I thought it was corny. Like, why would I sit there and try to pour into my inner child? But this first time that I did it, this was just last week, wasn't it? Or the week before? Last week. I mean, I literally was bawling. I literally was pouring into myself. I was literally loving on myself. I was literally talking to my inner child, that part of me that felt like I didn't like failing, that part of me that was hurt. I was consoling myself. And I feel like that was me loving on myself. So I'm learning to do stuff like that nowadays, you know, to help me.
I think that's again, I think that's super cool because I don't know who you was talking to. I do remember now. You know, you was having a conversation with a young lady, and you was telling her, like, because she's been through a lot of stuff. You know, she's had a lot of traumatic experiences, and at her age, she's could be accustomed to them to where she don't even know the effects that it could be having on her. And you was telling her, like, you know, you need to address this because you don't want to get 30 and then have a husband, have a child, and have a career and is being affected in a negative way now at 30 because you never address the traumas that you went through when you was young.
Yeah, because I wish I would have known that, and I would have wished, and I wish I would have took the time out, but I didn't know. So what you don't know, you just don't know. But if you got somebody letting you know, like, hey, this is what you can do it, because a lot of my childhood trauma showed up in our relationship and showed up in, just our now. And thank God that God has blessed you enough to not deal with me, but be there for me and have grace for me and show and reflect his love to me, because yeah, like our relationship challenged me and helped me to grow in that area. But like I was telling her, like, if because I see it now. Like, if you don't work on this now, it's gonna be tough for you when you get older, because it's gonna show back up. I think oftentimes we feel like we could do away with something. So I see this all the time. I done seen this with family. I done seen this with friends. Like, I just see it with people day to day. They throw off stuff. Like, I'll get back to it. They might not even say I'm gonna get back to it, but everybody process different, and a lot of people smoke, a lot of people drink to
sleep.
Yeah, to sleep. And I was a heavy sleeper, and like I still struggle with that. I'm learning that. But I see a lot of people that I'm close to, that I love, or people that I'm in contact with, run away from their problems and don't want to get healing. And now in their adulthood, now that they want to do more and have families and get married, or whatever it may be, now it's showing up, and they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to, like, they don't know, like, you just act like this because your inner, like, you still operating out of hurt from your inner child, and you don't even know that, and you don't even want to acknowledge it. And I know people who know they got a lot of these issues, but just don't want to work on it. They don't feel like putting in the work to do that. And I just think that I would prefer if somebody do it before, like early on, then they wait till it get too late. Because once they get, I ain't gonna say it's too late, because it's never too late, but it'll be you as a 30-year-old, 40-year-old cooperating and acting like a child, literally,
and not even realizing. But it's hard because in our culture, we go through, and not to say that no one else does, but we go through so much as young adults, as kids. We see so much, and Lord be with the kids now, because we talked about it yesterday in the car, as far as what we was doing as kids, and now what you said. You had made a comment and said what they know about that, and I'm like, what you mean what they know about that? They know more than we know about it when we was their age. So it's like, I think it's challenging though for us, because we're exposed to so much, and we, as like you mentioned, we all learn how to deal with stuff differently. As young boys, we learn how we are told to toughen up and just go through with it. So now we're building up all this trauma of not getting the emotional support that we may have needed. Maybe not the father being in our life. Maybe not mom really being there like we really wish she was. Maybe not the support in other, whatever areas it may be. And then we get to become adults, and now you're challenging me to become a person that I never was, or that I have struggled being all my life. And it's easier to just be like, you know what?
I'm cool. I don't want to work on it.
I'm cool. I'd rather just be, in a sense, stuck in my ways.
But we're not taught to love on ourselves.
Right.
Loving on ourselves feels horrible. Like, I gotta talk to myself and nurture myself and speak life into myself and try to have positive thoughts. Like, it's a lot. We're not taught. Love on yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. What did you do for yourself today?
Yeah.
How do you feel about yourself? How are you talking to yourself? When things happening, and you mess up on something, or are you mad at yourself? Or are you beating yourself down? Or are you saying, it's okay, we're going to get up, we're going to try again?
The grace we was talking about.
Right. But my question is, like, not my question, what I'm saying is, like, don't nobody notice. They ain't noticing this, because it's like, it's a norm thing now. Like, how are you talking to yourself when it's just you in the house, when it's just you in the mirror, when it's just you by yourself? How are you talking to yourself? What are your thoughts like? You know what I'm saying? And we haven't been taught as a community, and it's not even just as a community, as a people, just people in general, how to be healthy, how to pour into yourself, how to love on yourself. Like I said, me loving on myself has been hard. as of lately, because now that I have a child and I look at her, and now that I'm not with my mentees and my cheerleaders and different kids that I'm cool and close with, I'm like, I can't be preaching this to them and I'm not doing this myself. I refuse to do that. Anything that I speak on in my life on this platform to other people is something that I experienced. So I would hate to be telling them to do something that I ain't even did myself. You know what I'm saying? So loving on yourself, like, we haven't been taught to do that. And I think that is very important. And I feel like getting that inner child healing and working towards it is loving on yourself.
Yeah.
I was gonna give the example of when with my dad, the inner child, when I realized that I had an inner child. Inner child issue. You know, I love my dad. Me and my dad, this is this disclaimer, me and my dad is cool. I love my dad. There's no problem with me and my dad. I love him. We talk. That's my dog, right? But when he had first got out, okay, so we went through a process of me forgiving him when he was locked up and all the things, right? When he got out, we was like, okay. I was caught off guard when he got out because it was kind of like, I don't know, out of nowhere, but it was cool. He got out.
Well, let's say this. I'm sorry. Just how long was he in prison?
10 plus
10
years.
plus. So that's
like 12.
So that was, he got out when you was
just 2021.
2021.
So
okay, so that's from the time you was
how
a teen.
How old was I 2021? How old am I?
So from the time you was about 15, we ain't gonna say, from the time you was probably about 14, 15, he was incarcerated.
Yeah, he was locked up before.
So before you even knew who you was,
he probably did 12, 13.
So the person that you was when you was still an angry person, he left that person.
Yeah.
So you don't even. So although you've grown as an individual, like you say, I'm super appreciative of the relationship that y'all have grown to have and that y'all are growing to, continue to nurture. But that's still that person. Now he comes home 12 years later, and although you've grown, although, you a whole different Yamea, ain't it funny how that can trigger the 14-year-old you? Because that was the last possible experiences you had with
him. Yeah.
So forget the growth that I had. I'm triggered by the first thing that you do of the person that I was when I last really had it dealing with you.
Yeah, and even then, we didn't really have that much dealing.
Right.
So, like you said, it was like an angry version of y'all. But we dealt with that throughout his sentences, or I thought so. And I remember him getting out, and I remember, like, I would like to tell the story, but I don't want to take up time telling the story. But the main thing is this: I thought I forgave my dad. He did something, and it triggered me, and I didn't know how to feel. And I didn't know how to express it, but I knew I was hurting. I knew I knew it hurt my heart. I knew it did, because I couldn't even explain it. And at the time, this is when I was getting counseling actually. And I remember talking to the counselor, like, I know my older self, like my mature self, like, I shouldn't be mad about this, that, and that, and that. But I feel this, that, and that, and that, and that. And I remember her telling me, like, she's like, I'm happy that you now saying this, because now I know you're ready for this exercise. She's like, this is called inner child healing. She's like, now I feel like you're ready for it. So what happened is, your adult self, you have your inner child and you have your adult self. And your inner child, a lot of people think that they're operating out of their adult self because they think because of age, they mature, they pay bills. I
got some facial hair now.
But really, a lot of us are operating out of our inner child. And what had happened was, I was experiencing an inner child moment, the things that he made me feel, which brought it out. You know what I'm saying? And I talked to her about it, and then me and him was able to talk about the issues that I had, and we got through it. But I literally was so confused, because I literally thought I had forgave him. I literally thought I was not mad. I literally thought I was cool. And it wasn't until he had got out, and like I said, it was like a situation, like probably two different things had happened, and it really, like, I'm talking about, I wasn't even angry. I was crushed. I was crying, like, and it was like, it wasn't even like he did nothing, crazy. It was just like things that triggered the feelings that I had, like, of rejection and of feeling like, all these different things of it came up, and I could not explain why and where it came from. And then that's when in 2021, that's when I learned about inner child healing and learning what it was and where it comes from and how it looks. And And then throughout our relationship and our marriage, I started to see the stuff that she was talking about. When I read up on it, I'm like, oh, this makes sense. So if y'all have time, look that up, what inner child healing is. But it's about your inner child, the child that's inside of you, that, you know, certain things happen and that you never nurtured or that you just kind of pushed away. It's in there, you know. But yeah, that was the first time I learned about inner child healing, and it was like, whoa.
That's dope. All right, that's pretty cool. I like that. So, you know, we gonna get back to the, you know, I guess original or the few episodes before, you know, and I'm gonna get back to the this or that, you know, just to kind of switch topics a little bit. So, are you ready? All right, set your time or set your time.
This or that?
Yeah, this not actually like this or that. This is just like answer the question.
What? How many minutes? I mean,
40,
how many seconds?
35 seconds.
All right, I'm ready.
Ready? Set, go. Yours next milestone you're looking forward to?
Her walking.
Number one thing you're grateful for?
Life.
One word to describe motherhood?
Adjusting.
One word to describe Yamea?
Turn.
One word to describe Yara?
Beautiful.
A goal for the remainder of 2024? Nickname for Dynasty?
For lifer.
What you want to eat tonight?
I don't know.
Is that it? That's the timer?
Yeah.
You did good.
The goal, that's not, we got to get back to that. The reason why I couldn't answer that, because it's like, I got so many. But right now, I don't have so
Just
many.
a quick
I lied. I really want, this goes, you see, this is the perfectionist. So I don't know if I want to say it because it's going to trigger you. Just want to really learn how to be, how to operate this new mother, this child of God, wife and mother thing.
Okay, and we'll leave it at that. And what I'll say to that is be patient, and give yourself grace.
Yeah, because I was gonna say master it, but it's like, okay, I said that's the perfectionist. Yep. I said, okay, stop.
How long? No, I don't want to hear. But how long you been a mother?
I only been a mother for 4 months.
Okay, so give yourself grace and be patient with yourself.
Yes, but you asked my goal. My goal right now, what I'm focusing on, is literally like really walking with God, like to where the point where like we here, cause we here, you know. Gang. All that. And then as a wife, being who I need to be for you. I'm not saying perfect.
We said one goal. You already said the goal. We passed that. I said be patient.
Because I'm passionate about this. I really want to.
But what I say is take things. So now you the intertwine being a wife. Listen to what I'm saying now. This husband, you got to put them in they. Listen to what I'm saying. Be patient with yourself.
I am.
Because here you go. You said something about, I think, being a mom. One goal.
Bro,
I said one goal. You the intertwine being a wife now.
I said it all
Listen to what I'm saying. All right, be patient with yourself. Quit trying to do too many things at one time. You learning, all right?
Yes.
The person that you're going to be tomorrow ain't the person that you was yesterday. All right? Be patient with yourself and give yourself grace. Take your time. All right? The mom that you're going to be 10 years from today ain't going to be the mom you was yesterday. All right, but it's going to take for Yara to grow. It's going to take for her to walk. It's going to take for her to fall off the couch again. It's going to take for her to her first day of school for you to know that type of experiences. All right, so be patient because you want to continue to grow, and don't be the person to where 10 years running down the line you're still saying you want to, continue pushing and doing that. Just give yourself the grace. Okay, cool. Oftentimes, in moments in our walk of growth as a wife and first-time mom, what is something that you have learned about yourself since embarking on this new you?
That I am strong. And I'm capable. And literally, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
I would definitely second that. You again, not to go back to a few episodes ago, but but this is before even the baby and the pregnancy. We won't even have to go into the health, but you've shown me then the strength. And I don't know sometimes if you even give yourself the grace in that area that you should give yourself. Because when it comes to health, you've been through things even with that your typical 20-year-old necessarily may or may not have had to deal with, you know. So it's like the strength that you've shown me in that walk as a early in your early 20s, you know, is commendable, you know. So I want you to always know that the strength that you have, like I said before, don't ever hide in it. Know that you can always get through whatever it is that God has put in front of you, and he's put in front of you because you can push through that boulder. Even if it feels heavy, be strong. Because when you was pushing, you was pushing, or you was strong in. So I know times you can be a baby and you can want to, you be really on that. Like,
how are you going from encouraging me to whatever you about to say right now? Whatever you about to say.
So she sent me a TikTok or a Instagram clip, and my guys, I really want y'all to. We go through the same stuff. So this video has probably viral, 100,000 likes, all these comments. So I want y'all to know, when y'all get home and they be like, baby, I can't reach the pepper, or baby, I can't reach, or baby, can you go downstairs and get the clothes from the dryer? All this stuff to where you think that they really can't do when you ain't around, they in the crib full-fledged maneuvering. But as soon as you come around, the strength that they just get doll in, it's like they can't do anything. So just know they strong for real.
Well, and women, I want you to know, as long as you got a husband, you don't gotta lift a finger.
Oh my goodness.
As long as you got a husband,
Mr. Irvin, I hope you seeing this.
You ain't got to lift a finger, baby.
We got an insider, Mr. Irvin. I'll call you tonight.
What? No, I mean, okay, that's true, and every woman know this, but every woman, yeah, that's a compliment to you as a man. That's what you really need to be talking about. That's really a compliment, because that means that we love y'all and we depend on y'all. So that it's like a thing where it's like we know we can do it ourselves, but we want you to do it for us.
You just made that sound real good.
Yes, because I mean, it's a love thing. It's my husband is gonna take care of me. I know if I need him to get that pepper at the top of he's gonna get it. And guess what? I ain't gotta worry about it.
Okay.
And my husband gonna get the pepper, and he might sprinkle a little pepper on the little food.
Okay. All right. Make it sound good.
He gonna do what he do. He gonna take care of me.
Okay. Make it sound good. I like that.
It feel good as a woman to know that your husband will get that pepper for you.
All right. You right. You got it. You got it. For sure. So while still battling your own battles, maneuvering through life and learning who you are, you still find time to mentor. You find time to coach, teach, and be a big sister to so many young ladies. What are the challenges in always being a person someone else is always looking up to?
Okay, so it's a lot of challenges. I ain't gonna say it's a lot of challenges, because it's a beautiful thing. I love the position that I'm in, and I love what I do. I'm grateful to really actually genuinely be who I am, and have the relationships that I do with the young ladies, and to so I gotta say that. I think the challenges, it really just it calls you higher. Like that accountability you were talking about, or just you always have someone watching you. You have someone looking up to you. So you can't just be out here moving loosely. In which I don't do, but it makes you super cognitive and aware of what you got going on. You have to pay attention. You have to be intentional. You have to live back. You have to be real. It takes a lot of vulnerability. And sometimes you might not want to do that. And then sometimes when you're battling your own self, when you're battling yourself, you might not feel capable to pour into or mentor, or because you looking at, but that's only when you're looking at yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of challenges outside of it's called you higher. You have to. It's going to require you to grow. It's going to require you to step up. It's gonna require you to step out. And when I say step out, I'm talking about out of your comfort zone. You help me sometimes. I be like, did you reach out to such as? I be like, it's hard for me to pick up my phone sometimes. Because of the gifts that God has given me, I'm still learning how to navigate them. So I struggle sometimes when I see people. I'm not gonna say what I struggle with, you know, because I don't want to make it seem like that. I don't want to offend anybody, but sometimes it be a lot. So I have to brace myself.
For sure.
And also too, no, it's not me, it's God. So I have to. That's a constant reminder. So it's like a constant reliance on God.
For sure. I appreciate you. You know why? I appreciate you.
Why?
There we go. Man, because you done brought some amazing young ladies into my life. You know, for real. And like your little girls that then came from the school that you at, like them my girls now, you know, and you know, it's super dope to be able to see who you are through them. It was a little girl, you know, and I'm gonna talk about it. Not, you know, me and you gonna talk about it. I hit the corner today in the hallway.
She was kissing somebody.
They was hugged up, but out of the respect that I know that you didn't put into her, she immediately tried to hit her little cut, like hit her cut. But I ain't even say nothing then. I act like I literally didn't see it because, you know, you got to maneuver through up the stairs, you know. So I hit the bottom of the stairs and I'm already kind of looking up without physically like looking up. And so I seen them. They hit the little, you know, they hit they cut. So by the time I get to the top of the stairs, now they're behind me and I can kind of hear, you know, I don't know what they said, but I kind of hear him. So I know she said something like, that's Mr. Q or something probably. But just to see the respect that she had for me, my whole point, from who you are says a lot with how you nurture and how you take care of these young ladies. And, you know, I talked to her after. I'm like, yeah, you know, and she was like, yeah, you ain't see that. That ain't my boo. I'm like, but then guess what she asked me?
What?
Did you like him? I'm like, you just said, I'm like, he was cool. He seemed to be cool. You know, I like his little style. Cause I had talked to him individually. I had pulled him like, hey, what's your name? And I told her, I said, yeah, you know, I seen him again later. And I asked what his name was. And she was like, why'd you do that? But you know, I think it's dope to see, you know, like yesterday at the track meet, the young lady ran up on me. And I'm like, you know, because I always FaceTime. I'm like, I'm about to FaceTime your girl. And just to see the glow on her face when she's seeing you is special. You know, my boys, they just be like, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, it's,
he
I
be
guess
salty, y'all, because my girls love me.
Yeah,
like,
I guess it's just a dude thing.
Because like even when we went to the mall.
Yeah.
And I seen two of my young ladies. I mean, it blessed me. Yeah. Like I felt like I was talking to.
But you want to know what's crazy about that? What even put me on my ding? I guess is what you can say. I don't know who watching me.
Yeah.
In terms of who's connected to you.
Yes.
So it's like, because the young lady seen me first. And I told you, like she said, she was like, she waved. And I'm like, wave. I'm looking around and see, okay, hold on, where my wife at? Let me make sure she don't see me waving at this random person real quick so I don't get punched on. And then she kind of get closer and she like, where my sister? And I'm like, now I'm really off guard. I'm like, in there,
he didn't even know if this was somebody that was really trying to run up on me. You definitely was a part of the hit if it was one.
I would have, but we would have, boom, boom, boom. We would have pieced her up. But anyways, yeah, because I'm swinging.
Okay,
so I ain't gonna get on that. Yeah, but you run, I'm swinging.
Especially if you sent her to me.
Yeah, but it was just like, imagine me being in the mall. Let's say pants sagging.
Just all out of character.
Off character. And she just walked by me.
Like, look at Miss Henderson.
And I would never have known that she was connected to you. So it's like.
Because you didn't even like, who, you know.
Right. So it's just like, always model yourself as the person that you want to carry yourself as, or the person that you say we sit here and talk as such, because you never know, you know, who you are connected to.
Yeah.
But my hope, again, like I say, it's a blessing to see the person that you are to these young ladies, because again, when the face lights up and they be like, oh, Miss Henderson, what's up? And when you going to text me, or, you know, or come pick me up, or can I, you know, it's pretty dope to see that, you know. I know you're doing your job.
Man, I'm so grateful. And it's such a blessing, man. Like, because I'm telling you, man, mentors save lives. Like, I don't have to talk to all my girls every day, but they know I love them. They know, like, and if you tell me you need me, I'm coming. Now, to a certain extent now, Don't call and ask me for no $50 million because I ain't giving it to you. But I'm there. I'm always looking to be who God created me to be. So it's genuine. It's not like I'm not doing it for nothing else. I got relationships with a lot of young ladies, and you don't see me posting them being like, this my mentee. Nah, I love the relationships I have with them. It's real, it's genuine. And when I say I'm their sister, I say I'm your sister.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them like to call me mom, but I be like, I'm your sister. You know, because I know what that's like. You know, I don't want nobody feeling like, you know, but a lot of parents and, you know, appreciate me too. So I'll just be grateful that God, not me, but that God allowed me to be in position to even be and like do
to be
anything.
Trusted.
Yeah, to be
in
trusted.
these young ladies' life, because we're in a day and age to where, again, they can pick up their phone and be influenced by whatever it is that can influence them in a negative way. So it's like for God to put you in their life to try to help balance that out is nothing short of amazing, you know?
And I want to go back to the thing you said, one of the challenges with that, right? With like, you know, being a mentor, like with some of the things I faced. I'm going to tell you this. One of the things, and it came to me as I finished talking, was just, because it's a real thing for me, is feeling like I'm preaching. Like, it's like I want them to understand what I'm saying. I want them to get it, because I'm not just trying to preach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to preach. I'm trying to really teach you or give you some whatever. And that's a challenge for me, only because it can get me in my own head, you know, and I'm like, and I could kind of get a little discouraged because I'm coming from a genuine place, coming from a genuine heart. I really will run it all down for them. And sometimes I could feel like I'm preaching. So it's been times where, and not that often, because I don't ever want to miss the mark. I missed the mark one time. And I don't want to say miss the mark, but it was an opportunity where I could have spoke to a young lady. She asked to come speak to me, and I was in the midst of talking to a teacher about another teacher that really ticked me off, and she ended up not wanting to talk to me anymore. And I kind of not chased her, but like walked her down the hall, like, hey, talk to me. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, don't do it. If you do this is gonna happen. As soon as she left my sight, she went downstairs and got into a fight. And I felt bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt bad. Because I felt like if I wasn't doing what I was doing, like being mad about what this teacher did, allowing that to distract me, I could have spoke life into her, and she would have listened to me, because she was open when she came to me.
She came to you.
Yeah. So after that, I was like, yeah, it's bad when it comes to that's how powerful and how much of this position you got to be on guard and making sure that you won't post with it. But I don't ever be liking to feel like I'm preaching, so that's a challenge for me internally as a mentor, like. Because you just don't want to seem like you just talking their head off.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, you talking their head off.
Yeah. So
I just trust that they're going to take something from me.
Yeah. In which they will. Like we say, all you can do is plant the seeds. You know, because
my mentor taught me that.
Yeah, all you can do is plant the seeds and do what you feel is on your heart to do. They're still kids. You know, we still deal with kids. We still deal with young adults, you know, so they still got to go through experiences too and learn from them, you know. But if you didn't plant that seed and being like, and I talked about this in class today, the difference between knowledge and wisdom. You know, knowledge is me giving you information. I'm giving you this information. So, okay, we sitting here, I'm talking to my mentee, I'm giving him this information. Wisdom is him learning from that information that I done provided, or messing around going through that experience that we talked about and then learning from it. So now that's when the wisdom comes in. So now you was given the information from your experiences with whatever you did with it, you was able to get the wisdom. So, you know, it's still a process that still has to be gone through. So
and God says it all the time. And make sure that you know, in order you get, make sure you get, you know, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, because it's important. Knowledge is the information that you get, you know, just in general, just the information. You can read a book, that's the information. But then God is saying, in order you get understanding as well. Lord, give me understanding. What is this saying? Help me understand what this is saying. And then wisdom is carrying it out. That's the application. That's put into what you just learned to into practice. What you just learned, put it into practice.
For sure.
So wisdom, and that's a big thing for me, and I'm grateful because I definitely do believe I got the gift of wisdom because I've learned. That's how I've survived too, just growing up. I learned from a lot of other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
I seen things. Like I say, me and Miss Campbell, we could talk. She'll tell me something, and I listen. You know what I'm saying? So when the situation occur, I applied it. I was never that person that if you tell me don't touch a stove because it's hot, I was never the person to still touch it anyway. I'm gonna judge that off of how I feel about you as a person. So if I know that you care about me and you tell me that stove is hot, I believe you. So it could be a downfall to it. But wisdom is literally one of those things that when you get it, you get that. When you ask God for wisdom, make sure you ask Him for knowledge and understanding. So knowledge is first, then ask for the understanding, and then wisdom is the application. So for sure.
And real quick, because of who you said you was, and knowing that you deal with young ladies and even young males, although you was the person to where when your mentor told you like, "Hey, don't touch that, it's hot," you wouldn't touch it. Give grace to the kid that will.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just want to say that because it is.
And I've struggled with that too because I done felt like, okay, I done told you.
Yeah, and it's one of the things to where I wouldn't have did it. My mentor told me, so just give grace, because it's a kid listening that is gonna be like, well, I still might be the one to still kind of, I got to, because I have to be able to apply this wisdom that I get from messing up, so just
it requires patience.
Yeah, just again
as a mentor, patience.
For sure.
Mentoring is a thing that requires patience.
Yeah, for sure. 3 mothers in your life that you could attribute your idea of what a mom looks like and why for each one.
That's a good one. What a mom looks like?
Yeah. Whatever you may think, you can pull from this person, this person, this person.
That's a hard question. I can't answer that.
All right. Well, who is a person that when
it comes to motherhood
that you can look up to or that you can go to, and why?
Can't answer that.
Okay.
It's not that because this is a question. Both of those questions are things that I've never thought of. And I know you probably like, what do you mean? I don't have a specific person.
I know you don't. It's so many people. So let me ask you.
I could tell you the mother that
So let me ask you this then, because I still want you to answer these questions. I know you don't want to probably leave somebody out. So your mom. What's something about your mom that you can learn?
My mom taught us how to survive.
Okay, so survival.
Survival, cleaning up. She was one of those ones that my mom. Anybody that know my mom, that's like her coping mechanism, like cleaning up. Well,
hold on. We could just say one. You remember, because we gonna
so
survival, and I like that because
from my mom, I definitely learned like how to survive. Like,
I like that because that's imperative. In life. Learning how to maneuver, learning how to navigate in this hard world is a challenge. If you won that, you are accessible. You're susceptible to doing wrongdoings because you haven't been taught how really to maneuver and survive out here. That you can find yourself in some sticky situations. So survival is important. Aisha.
Okay, so for my sister, I would say, it's a lot from Aisha. Honestly, now that I think about it, one of the things that I learned from Aisha is just I think it's more so about the love you have for your kids, regardless. Like, no matter what. Like,
so unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
For sure. So from your mom, you able to see and be like, okay, the survival, I can take this down and teach this to y'all. From Aisha, this that unconditional love of what it really looks like to be a mom.
Miss Campbell, I would say she's very family oriented.
So the family,
and then Miss Allen, I would say she's very.
Oh, so now you going?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm saying different things. Miss Allen, I would definitely say she is very intentional. So like, intentional as in with her walk with God and paying attention to her kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, Miss Campbell, she's very family oriented, so she's all about family. Pouring into the people that she's connected to, and she believe in looking out for her family, whether that's her kid or not. You know, Aisha, unconditional love, the way she loved my nephews, and just regardless, you know what I'm saying. My mom, survival skills.
Let me ask you this: so someone that I hear you, talk to often, that we ended up kind of having our babies around the same time, somebody that you're gonna be able to grow with, and our daughter are going to be able to hopefully grow a bond and be best of friends, although we might be states apart. What is something that you can learn from Dynasty, your for lifer?
So
what's that like, having someone that is literally 2-3 months?
Nah.
I'm saying 2-3 months ahead of us as far as this journey.
Oh, okay. So Denver is 6 months.
So
now.
about 2 months. So what is something that you can learn from someone that is just 2 months ahead of us? And what is it like having someone that you can walk this journey with?
Well, it's funny because she's 2 months, almost 3 ahead of me. I could pull a lot from her, like, what you do when this happened, because she experiencing it first. Through our pregnancy, she literally taught me to like literally embrace and enjoy the process. Cause I was so caught up on all the wrong things, and like she had things going on too, but she didn't allow it to change her mood or like switch up the process, like the experience for her. Like she embraced it. She was just like, bro, I don't care. Like this is my first time ever being pregnant. This how I'm doing it, So yeah, it was like embracing and enjoying the process and not allowing nobody or nothing to really steal your joy. Like make your process and what it is, what you want it to be. And that's just pregnancy. But that goes through life. It had opened up my eyes a lot, because it was like I was watching her experience things and go through things as well, but still being like, we moving. It is what it is. But I take a lot from her, because like I say, she go through a lot of stuff before me when it comes to our daughters.
But it's crazy because babies, what I'm finding out now, 2 months is a lot.
Yeah, it's a big
so
difference.
Like you say, whatever that may be, you can really sit and ask and call like, hey, did you see this when she was, or did you experience this, or what was this like? So that's pretty dope to be able to go through something like that with somebody that you're so close with.
Yeah. And like Aaliyah, she has two boys. But Aaliyah probably taught me what perseverance looked like. Cause she literally got a lot done while being pregnant, while having 2 kids. And then like once, my first day back to work, I was like, wow, it had me grow a complete respect for Aisha and Aaliyah, because like they doing it with 2 kids and on their own, and pushing through. Like Aaliyah went to college, I mean, got her master's, pushed through with 2 kids, all by herself, making it happen.
That's
and,
a different level,
and they well taken care of.
Yes, different level of intentionality, I believe would be the word.
But I think it's from her, what I pull is perseverance.
Yeah, for sure. And as a father, and I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it, I've had this conversation with friends. It's, man, I can't do nothing but give my kudos. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out here watching this today, because it's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day episode. To be a mom, if you are doing it, by yourself, shout out to you, because it's challenging, to have a partner to do this with is challenging, like I always say, at night, for some reason now, y'all are like sleeping with you, when she ain't in her bassinet, when she ain't in her bassinet, disclaimer. But it's like, she'll cry and whine. Imagine if I didn't have you to be like, man, she crying, she whining, who do I pass her off? Imagine not having that person. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you having to deal with that crying for an hour. Imagine you having to hop in the shower by yourself every single time, hurry up and hop back out, not even really being able to do a thorough deep clean because the baby start crying again.
Imagine, let me tell you, imagine. It was like I said, my first day back to work, waking up getting yourself together, then getting your kids together, then still going to work, and then picking them up. Like I said, I definitely have help, but like even, okay, factor in a husband. You want to make sure that you're doing something for your husband too, because it's all about honoring your husband as well. So you get yourself together, you have to, and then it's like you have to get yourself together, and then who gonna do it if you don't do it? For the single mom. But even for the moms to, that got a partner, it's still hard. That first day back to work, I said, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, but that's why I was saying, like, and I would be a man to definitely, step up and say this. Like, that's a different level of strength right there, and a different level of perseverance and endurance and love, because to be a mother, to be a father, but to be a mother, handling business, like you say, getting a master's, just surviving out here in this world. It's a different
type
beast.
It's different. It made me really. I was like, that first day, and that's why I say I'm so grateful to God that you were a husband that is not demanding and controlling and like selfish, because that first day of me being back to work, I was like, is you serious? Because it's like, okay, I had been home for 2 months. I was able to stay home with Yara for 2 months up until she got her shots. And that first day back, I didn't know where to start. I was like, Lord, you're going to have to show me what this looked like. And I had to get myself together. Then I was like, I got to do something for my husband. So let me make breakfast. And it's like, I got to get up and get her together.
Hold on. And I'm glad we just all on camera, because again, you're going to be able to look back on this. Because yeah, it's something, but you already going on the thought process on so much stuff that you saying that you had to do, and that's why I always say,
but I did.
You did, or you would. That was what you desired to do. You didn't have to necessarily do it. Yeah, we got to get Yara together and stuff.
I feel like I did though.
Right, but I'm
in order for our day, and for to start on, like, because are you gonna get up at 4?
If I had to,
I mean, that is true. Yeah. You would.
So, but see, quit trying to go back and forth with your urge to
do everything.
Do not necessarily everything, but to be so aligned and to make sure everything is is perfect, because that's what we are deviating away from. Things God is already taken care of.
It's just like this. When I see the woman that I desire to be, that's the word I was just thinking. When I see the woman I desire to be, I just kind of put pressure on myself, and not meaning to. It's like subconsciously, it just happens. Because I desire to be this woman. I desire to be this beautiful mother, this beautiful wife that take care of her household. And that's that. But like you said, failing to realize I got to give myself grace. It's a process. I'm not going to be this person tomorrow, in that I got somebody. I'm not alone. So I don't have to do this to myself. It's like, it's a lot of stuff to take to factor into that equation or whatever. But it's like, that is what I'm like, man, I just want to be the best for y'all. It's not like I want to be the best just to say I'm the best. No, I really want you to be happy. I really want Yara to be happy. I really want us to have a comfortable household. I really want you to feel safe. I really want her to feel safe. Like, it's that I want. And I know sometimes when you want, you got to be careful with what you want, because you could drive yourself so crazy.
And that's what I was going to say. Well, how can you provide any of that for your household as a wife, as a mother, as a woman, if you didn't drove your own self crazy?
I'm learning that.
I'm again, be patient, because like I tell you, I'm perfectly fine with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
He be saying that all the time. I be like, we gotta eat some chicken and some mashed potatoes and gravy. And he be like, if you tell me we can eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
make me a peanut butter and jelly.
But that's me. And I'm gonna be transparent. That's what I'm learning as a wife. Listen to your husband, because my idea of what I feel like you should have is not what you like. And not to say that you shouldn't have it. You want it, but you like, I ain't tripping if I don't. And I have probably. That's probably something that I took from the world.
Yeah, and it's easy to do that, because again, when you you have married women in your life, and you have positive influence in your life, but at the end of the day, when you're living in a world of so many different distractions and idols of of things that we've seen, when you think of a wife, you think of okay, every single day you're providing a meal that's 5 stars, you know, plate getting provided to you. You know, you think of all this lavish stuff to where it's like that's what it's supposed to look like. But
That's not true.
in all actuality, whatever world that is, it could be for somebody else, you know. But again, I think we talked about this in our last episode of knowing who you're dealing with and being okay with knowing, like, well, what's my case? All right, you know,
learning what works best for you,
yeah,
and your significant other. That's what I had to learn. Like learning what works best for you and your significant other, because literally, I drove myself crazy with that, and I still struggle with it.
My husband might be okay with a PB&J and some chips, you know, and it's
just hard to fathom that. Yeah. But that's why you have to listen.
It's hard to fathom that because of the world we live in.
Yeah, but also too, it's like that's that overthinking part of me. Like, is this really what you want, or are you just being like, I just want you to be happy. Yeah. So that'd be my goal when I'm doing anything. So it's like, yeah, I probably try to overexert and be like, all right, I'm gonna do. And you probably, like you said, it's been times where you've been like, I am cool with some noodles right now. I'm like, but you really want some noodles, or you gonna still love me the same tomorrow if I give you some noodles? I don't want to send my husband out there starving.
Just don't make noodles every day. That's it. But you know, we gonna wrap it up, man. Happy Mother's Day.
I don't like how you just wrapped that up.
I think it was pretty cool. You know,
all right, we gonna wrap it up.
You know, we gonna wrap it up. You did an amazing job. You know, happy Mother's Day. I'm glad you actually got up because you wanted to fight me today and you didn't even want to do this. But you know, we pushed through and we persevered. That's the word for today's episode. Perseverance. You know, strength, endurance, the love of a mother.
I'm grateful. Man, I'm grateful, and I'm happy that I didn't know about this. Of course, it's so much more to unlock, but I'm so grateful for what we did. Like, it don't need to be no more, no less. I'm grateful, and I'm happy that I feel like God definitely led the conversation.
For sure.
And definitely with some vulnerable moments. I really want to cry over here a couple times.
Yeah, but you know, you from Bond Hill.
Oh my God, bro.
Shout out to Bond Hill and shout out to my homies down in the Natty, man. You know I be good when my boy Joe, listen. My boy Des, Ty. You know what I'm saying? I can go on. Big Al, D Wilkes, Doe. Y'all know how we coming, man.
Bruh, y'all need to get this character for real. I'm grateful though. So I appreciate this episode. And happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mommies out there. I pray that y'all have a blessed and wonderful Mother's Day, that y'all feel appreciated, that y'all feel loved, because y'all deserve it. And we are super women. We are super women with the EN. But yeah, I just want y'all to know that y'all deserve to be loved on. Just loved on in general. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about it because as a woman, and now that I'm a part of the motherhood community, it is no joke, but it's so rewarding. So I literally would like to say Happy Mother's Day, and I hope you feel loved.
For sure, man. Happy Mother's Day. We out.